Okay, episode 26 of Two Sisters in Business. Today is our last podcast recording in our studio.
Yeah, so sad.
Yeah. But we are going to redo it all and just get a setup going and keep it rolling. So we should be okay with our weekly episodes.
I think so. I think
so
it might sound a little different. You might see some differences, but I think we should be
good.
Good to go.
Yeah. It'll be great. Maybe we can do it from our office too. That's the goal.
Yeah.
To have it like at the townhouse, as we call it. Although you just sat in traffic. So
oh my gosh. We're recording like later on in the day, so I didn't think about traffic really.
Well, there was an accident?
And I mean, it took me 40 minutes to get here.
Oh my gosh.
This time of day it should take less than 20.
That's a long time. Yeah.
So
not a fun way to.
A little late.
Yeah.
A little frustrated.
It's all good.
And then I was stuck in the slow lane. I was having a little I-95 road rage.
Oh my gosh. 95 can be so bad. Yeah. Good. Well, sorry you had to deal with that. And hopefully we can pick up with our podcast and you don't have to sit in traffic and we'll get the timing right.
Right.
But it's all good. So our Memorial Day sale will have ended by the time this goes live.
Oh my gosh.
And we're going to be headed straight into June where we have a very teeny tiny drop month.
Yes, it is very small.
Planned on purpose because June is our slowest month as a company. Mm-hmm. If you're ever interested in the cyclical nature of businesses, we are a Q3, Q4 business.
Yes.
We are like a Christmas tree farm.
We are.
Actually, that's even way more Q4. Yeah. Someone used that term with us and it stuck with me that I'm like, maybe we are too.
Right. I never really thought of that, but yeah, we are seasonal.
We are very seasonal. Yeah.
And so our summer months are slower.
Yes.
Which is kind of, I mean, granted, we are planning for Q3.
I know
we're finalizing our Q4 buy and we're doing all that. So there's a lot of behind the scenes work, but sales wise and product wise, we're slower.
Yes, we are. And I think I've learned
to enjoy it.
Yeah. Trying is the key word in that sentence because I've always found it historically hard in these months.
It is crazy. Yeah.
And I also find that when things are slower, I'm not as on top of things.
Yes.
Do you feel that way?
I do too. And I mean, we've talked about this too. I feel like when I'm busier, I'm more productive.
Yes.
And that's kind of goes back to how mom raised us.
Yeah, to stay busy. Maybe it's ingrained in our...
Exactly.
I'm happier. I'm more productive. I'm just generally...
more motivated.
Yeah. Today, for the podcast of how I had to use ChatGPT for ideas. Right. I was like, I can't think. Brain is not working on what we should talk about on the podcast. So thanks ChatGPT, but also I don't know. My brain just shuts down when things are slow. So I don't know. I'm much more, what's the word? Yeah. Creatively inspired.
Inspired. Inspired. Isn't that a commercial of some sort?
Oh, probably.
Inspired.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
it probably is. And it was, the slower months are different. Yeah.
I think.
You had a thought.
I had a thought, but no, I'm not going to go there.
All right.
But our drops for June are small, but I'm excited for them.
Yes. They're we just have 3 dresses dropping.
3 dresses, and they're all very cute.
Yes.
And you could wear them in so many different occasions.
Yeah. We tried to think of our lady, our customer, and what she would want from our dresses based on what is sold in the past.
Yeah.
Kind of pieced together different ones based on previous sellouts. So hopefully they sell out and hopefully if you're listening and you want one, pick one up because we are not doing as big collection this summer.
What do you think is going to be the best seller out of all 3?
The Lana, the navy and white Lana.
I agree.
Tank
Although,
dress.
so the Lana is navy and white stripe, as Lauren just said, tank dress. That's a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
The Harlow is the shorter scallop print, which has been so popular.
That's a good point, actually. And it has a cute little keyhole neckline situation. It's really cute. And then the Savannah Maxi is the same like silhouette body as last year, but we put sleeves on it. So it's like a t-shirt maxi dress.
And it's black. It's like good to wear to work too.
Yes. It's so good for work. It's actually, I would buy that for work.
Yeah.
It's really good.
You get a cute belt to pair with it.
Yep.
But that's a good drop. That's our final drop of June, right?
I think so.
And then that kind of transitions well into our July drops where we do have like kind of a Dudley Classics theme. Wear to work theme.
Yep. Which I think you came up with that term, Dudley Classics.
Yeah.
You definitely did.
Okay.
So
I'll pat myself on the back for that one.
And we should talk about it because I'm wearing an old top of ours, which now I realize maybe I shouldn't have because we can't even link it or sell it. But whatever. Khaki's top is on the site.
On the site. We have inventory of it.
Yep. And worn by a lot of influencers at the Nantucket event,
yeah,
actually. You're right. Such a good preppy top. I love that one so much.
So easy to throw on.
Yeah.
Like, and just pair with jeans or I'm
wearing
like
a sweatshirt top
today.
Yeah. But you look more dressed up. So I'm wearing one of our older tops. I think this was from last year, our Bar Harbor with stripe. So the goal with Dudley Classics, which will drop, I think, on July 2nd, or maybe July 1st, whatever the Tuesday is. July 1st, is to always have these wardrobe basics in stock. Oh, always.
Always.
How many times can I say always? Forever. And it's like the perfect button down, the perfect pant, all in our stretchy recycled fabric. That's like just a dream for machine washing, traveling, dressing up for work. And we have a new button down that has a blue and white stripe that I'm really excited about. And that sold out last year. So we're mixing that style up a little bit for this summer. So, on that note of June, we'll have some light drops, but then July we pick up and we have weekly stuff, fall transition things and Dudley Classics. That we will here. Yeah, that I'm really glad that we have this strategy of always having those up on the site. Like it won't be a drop and they'll sell out. There'll be they'll live there.
Yes.
And then whenever they go to stock, we'll restock them. Yeah. Because we've just found them to be such good basics, especially our pants, which we do have some in stock on the site now, but the pants are so good.
They're
kind
the
of
best.
A little undiscovered part of Dudley Stevens. If you haven't tried them yet, highly recommend. Okay. So June quick drops, stay tuned for those. And today we wanted to dedicate the podcast to our design process. On that note.
Yeah. I mean, we're finalizing Q4 right now. So it kind of comes at a good time of our
it's top
life
of
cycle.
Mind.
It's top of mind. And Q4 is as Lauren said, is our biggest
quarter. Yeah. It's a huge collection for us. It's where we place our biggest investment in terms of inventory. And it's when all the ladies want to shop Dudley for the holidays and for cold weather. So we have a lot of exciting things coming in Q3 and Q4, but we've received questions about our design process and we've touched upon it in certain episodes here and there, but we've never dedicated a whole episode to it. So I think it'll be, and other people have asked since then too. So for all those questions out there, the few that we've received, I'm excited to talk about this because for me, in our episode last week, we talked a lot about, that Wall Street Journal article that I won't get into again. Go back and listen to episode 25. But one thing that has been a mainstay and a constant for us is being thoroughly involved with the design. And I'm still the fit model.
Right.
There was a period where I wasn't, and then I came back to it. And I think we realized how important it is for one of us to be trying all the clothes on.
Trying them on, seeing how they feel. Yeah, I know. I think when we didn't have you as a fit model, we kind of lost that a little bit. Yeah. Like it was important to us to be able to try them on ourselves.
Yeah. I think it really
yourself.
So as hard as it is, cause it is I have to try it on and also weigh in on the design and all that. But the fit is so important to us. So I just think you can hear from people that say, oh, when you start running a company and you have people working for you, you should let go of things. But you really shouldn't let go of things that are important.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Very good point.
So stay involved, and we have stayed involved. And I think it's been, it's still kind of fun thing for me. Like I really enjoy that side of it.
I think the design process is one of the portions of our business that has the most hands on deck.
True. Oh, that's such a good point.
We have
never thought about that.
Yeah. I mean, you like mom's involved with the ideas and the fit and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you're involved with the creation, like the concepts. And I don't know, we're all involved. The three of us are all involved. And then we have our production, who's Jess. We have
Kelly,
who's
marketing
and also like knows what our customers like.
Yep.
We have Laura, who's involved, who does all the analytics.
Oh my gosh. Nikki.
And knows what we need to buy. Nikki, who does the actual designs.
So Nikki's more like, she does our CADs, which are like digital sketches. And that is a skill in itself that like you need to be trained in. But she also has a really good feel for how garments work together.
Yeah. Like if you change this stitch or you change this measurement, it could affect how this measurement works. Or, like
it's a science.
It's a science.
It's like engineering.
I think that the design process is so creative, but there's so much math involved too.
So much math.
Which you don't find as much.
You wouldn't think that.
Some creative, jobs,
totally.
careers, whatever.
That's exactly right. And then Yili.
And
Yili she can create patterns. Like she can old school create paper patterns like down and sew them together. And she really
measures
understands
all of our samples to make sure they're within tolerance. And
how her and Nikki's brains think is just very, it's, in a different way.
Right.
They know all of that, like you said, and how little things impact the other measurements.
Right.
And it's a real science and a real math. There's a lot of math involved.
There is.
But yeah, that's such a good point. We have so many people, so many hands on deck for our design process. And the other thing that's also so fascinating that a lot of people don't know is that it really takes 1 year from start to finish.
Right. Yeah.
From like design concept and collection ideas down to like the finished goods being delivered. We're really working 1 year out.
Yeah. So like, for example, for Q4, it's mid-May right now. This will drop a little bit later than that.
Yep.
But we're finalizing our Q4 buys now.
Yeah.
So that's May, June, July, August. It's 5 months before it will actually be delivered.
Yep.
Prior to those 5 months, we are in the fit. Like we have to come up with the concepts. Mm-hmm. Then Nikki will draw up the actual designs. We say yes or no to them.
Yep.
And then they put them into the tech packs, create samples.
Yep.
And then we fit them.
Yes.
Which could take samples. 3 rounds of fittings.
Yep.
Right?
Sometimes it takes 3 times.
Sometimes it takes more.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes less if we kind of know which body we want. Like it.
Yeah.
And actually, that's a good point. Like we have certain bodies and templates now that we use. So like if we want something to fit like a green point, we will take those measurements from a green point turtleneck.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And apply them
to the new style.
Yeah.
Which is very helpful.
Yeah.
So those, if we have that body, that might be less than 3 rounds of fittings, but generally it takes 2 to 3 rounds of fitting.
Yeah.
A product. Style.
Yeah, exactly. You said
Excuse my words.
No. So the whole process starts with like an overall collection theme idea. Then it goes into, like Haki said, Nikki creating the CADs based on the inspiration. Mm-hmm. And then we choose what we want. And then tech packs, what you just said, those are like a full-on measurement guide for the factory with all the details on how to make the first sample.
And also like what trims to use.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like
zippers, buttons,
it's
snaps.
basically like an instruction manual for the factory.
Yes.
Of how to make each style.
Yeah. And then I feel like if it takes over, we'll get samples after that tech pack process. And then, like you said, it takes sometimes 3. If it takes longer than that, we're like, this isn't working.
Yeah. This is too complicated. We're spending too much time on it.
Like the jumpsuit. Well,
yeah.
It might not have been 3 fittings, but I just knew it was going to.
But there are also like certain things, like if it's too complicated of a style and it's taking that long to fit.
Yeah.
Then you also have to consider what it will be like after it's not mass produced, but made in bulk, right? Like,
yeah, right.
The sample is just one seamstress making the sample.
Yep.
So when you go from sample to bulk, you have to make sure that the measurements are all the same from the sample to the bulk. And if it's too complicated, it might be too difficult to make in bulk.
It's just going to not work.
Yeah.
the other thing too is that prior to the collection inspiration that we put together for Nikki, Laura, our buyer, puts together what they call a line plan.
Right.
And that has like, you should be designing X amount of 3/4 zip-ups, one outerwear piece, or whatever the case may be, so that we know. Yeah, more math. And that all is generated by our projections, like revenue projections. So it's like, it's all interconnected. And these are things that when we launched in 2015, we did not do.
No, we didn't do. So these are all learnings the past 10 years.
Yeah. So
we didn't even have tech packs the first
No, we had nothing. We had paper patterns. Yeah, at the factory in Brooklyn.
Right.
We had paper
first
patterns.
5 years. I don't think we had tech packs.
No.
That's crazy.
I mean, the factory might have been using something, but like we never saw it. We just kind of had fittings and provided comments, and that was it. But it's now such a refined process that hopefully it's a smooth process. But so we could have up to 3 different fittings with each style. But we'll have all day fittings or half day fittings whenever bulk of samples come in.
We'll all get together.
Yep.
We'll order lunch. Lauren will wear a tank and change in and out of clothes all day.
Try on every pullover and
we all critique them.
Yeah.
So being a fit model is not so much fun.
Yeah, you get really hungry too.
That's why we order lunch.
You understand why models are like quiet and moody, because it's like you just stand in front of people and like you're starving and
they're like, well, you have long or bigger shoulders or whatever they may say.
Your arms are really long. Yeah. I know, it's true. Anyway, it's a huge process, but also it can be super fun because when samples come in and they're close to being done, it's so fun trying them on. And you're like, I'm so excited.
Like, I want this now.
Yeah. Like I have to wait now 6 months, but I love this style. And then also part of that is fabric sourcing, which we are a fleece company. You know, that's our bread and butter, but we have like terry fleece, which Kaki's wearing. And I'm wearing I think this is our poly Lux that we call, what do we call it? Lux.
Lux. Yeah.
And it's like a recycled poly blend.
That's
good for summer.
We've gone through a lot of different
variations
of that fabric.
It's true. And some of them we've kept. And
then we have like a heavier weight one that we use for pants and a lighter weight one that we use for t-shirts.
And because some people, whenever we network with people, who are trying to start a fashion company, I find that they always ask like, where did you find your factory and where did you find your fabrics? And we've found them kind of all over in different ways. But those fabric fairs, they have one in New York, they have one in Colorado. Like you can find fabric fairs nationally and go, and all the vendors are there that have fabrics.
And we've made good connections through those.
We have, really have. So
that's some not so good, some good.
Right. And some are just kind of, you get confused about where they make their stuff, and I don't know.
Right.
You have to.
But if you find a fabric that you like, even at one of those fabric fairs, you could probably send it to whoever you source your current fabric from, and be like, "Do you have anything like this?"
Yes.
If you don't trust the other, the other person,
right? Or they're based somewhere, and your factory's not even near them. Like, right. That's another thing. Is like you have to make sure wherever you're sourcing fabric is close to the factory, because
good point.
Then, you're importing stuff and. I don't know. It gets messy. But that's such a good point. You just take a sample and try to replicate it or find it somewhere else. And we always only look for recycled fabric. So that also narrows it down.
That narrows it down. But also if we find a fabric that's not recycled, we always have to ask that question. Like, can this be replicated but in recycled?
Yeah. And I would say like most of the time it can be.
Most of the time it can be.
Yeah. And on that note, we have a new fabric that's launching in July. And it's a French terry. And so think of like a sweatshirt type fabric. That's basically it. And it's a blend, also recycled. And I can't wait.
Yeah. You're very excited. Well, I am too, but this is something you've been wanting.
I've been wanting to do this for so long. It just has the cool factor, this fabric. And we're doing it in our classic turtlenecks. Maybe we're doing park slope at some point. I don't remember. But we have new turtleneck looks,
like play on a turtleneck.
Exactly. So it'll be like a classic Dudley turtleneck, but in this French terry fabric, and heather gray and red, I think we're doing. And I am just super excited about having this new fabric, and I hope it does well. I think we didn't like buy too much of it at first because we wanted to like test it too.
Yeah.
So
we didn't overdo it. Which I think is also good advice. I mean, it's something that we've already, simplify, keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Yep. And we found it through our factory.
Yes.
In Central America. So, another answer to that question of where do you find your fabrics? Once you develop a relationship with the factory, they will suggest other things and you can ask them if you like something to find it. So, I don't know. It's a great way to explore other fabrics. And especially if you have a brand and you have something you want to stay true to, whether it's recycled or sustainable or athletic, whatever the pillars of your brand may be, those factories really know the fabric.
Yeah. And they might know like what other like-minded brands are using too.
Yes.
Because then they can
exactly
help us.
Yep. Yeah. And we found we also have a factory in Long Island City in outside of Manhattan. And we are hopefully going to be making some like basic white t-shirts with them next year. And
we've used them for some turtlenecks and stuff so far.
Yep.
But as you mentioned, it's hard because our fabric isn't
made here
near them. So like it's hard to get the raw material to them.
Yeah.
But now we are sourcing another type of fabric that they are helping us source.
Yes. They knew, they had the relationship, knew the fabric, and so kind of just stumbled upon us. But you said we need a white t-shirt, and I totally agree.
On Instagram this early spring, every single person was talking about white t-shirts, and white t-shirts are so important for your wardrobe.
It's so true. I know.
And you need to buy them every year because they don't last long.
And I never know what to do because it sounds like a weird statement, but like good white t-shirts are expensive.
Right.
Like we were in Hawaii and I forgot to pack like a basic white t-shirt.
Oh yeah.
And I needed one. Like then everything was dirty and I didn't even have a white t-shirt to like wear home. And all I wanted to do it was an overnight flight. I just wanted a white t-shirt. So I went to the little boutique, which of course a hotel boutique, everything's going to be expensive, but the brand was a known brand and it was like $130 for a white t-shirt.
Yeah.
So
you'll get like a few wears out of probably.
Right. So our goal is to make a fairly priced white t-shirt.
Good quality t-shirt.
Good quality that will last, not forever because cotton, whatever, cannot, but it will hopefully be a good quality shirt. So
I've been testing
it and I love it. Mm-hmm. And the fabric is great. It's very substantial and thick and like a good fancy buttery. It is kind of buttery, like my leggings that I was wearing. Left on Friday leggings are great, by the way. And I've been looking for an alternative legging, side note, because I love aloe leggings, but they're just like very tight, that like shiny, tight fabric.
Yeah.
So for summer and spring, I wanted something more lightweight. So they're perfect.
The leggings on Amazon, we're totally sidetracking now. But I know the Amazon leggings?
Yeah, the color Fulka
right.
or something. Yeah.
I have one version that's like a thicker and one that's too thin.
Oh, no.
And I want the thicker one, but I can't find it.
No, see, that's the problem with Amazon. It's like you find it once and then it's gone and you'll never know if you'll get it back.
It's frustrating.
It's the price we pay to shop on Amazon for quick shipping and cheap stuff. But I know when you find a brand that you like their leggings, like aloe leggings, I know I like them. It's worth the investment. But that's frustrating because you can't find it.
Well, I think, it'll be good to have a white t-shirt to complement our
whole assortment.
Right.
Agreed. So
it might be part of the Dudley classics, right? Like it's a basic
because I didn't think about where it would live. Yes, that should be a Dudley classic. That's just always in stock. Mm-hmm. I like it. So stay tuned for French Terry dropping in July. I cannot wait for it. And it has been a long time coming. Most of the new things we have been a long time coming. Do you agree? Do you find that?
Yeah.
Or do you think that?
10 years.
10 years. It's like we've been wanting to do, I've always wanted to do a sweatshirt type material turtleneck and do it our way.
Right.
And make it sustainable and all that. And so
I think we really needed to establish ourselves as a fleece. Like we needed to have our core
totally
right, the fleece core. Yep. And we built ourselves on that, and now I feel like it's a good time to expand a little bit.
Yeah,
kind of like Airbnb.
I know. I mean, yeah, exactly. No, because now when I'm looking at the drop schedule, and like July 1st is Dudley Classics and July 8th is new French terry. So all beginning of July are things we've never really, well, we've done Dudley Classics before, but just new things that we're thinking about in a different way.
Right.
And trying to
expand.
Waffle
is really doing awesome too.
Waffle is becoming a core part of the business, I would say.
I think it is.
It's great.
I mean, the Surfside tee sold out in one day.
Now that you're saying that, I really do want black because that would have been good for my outfit today.
Yes, it would have been. You're going to have to wait till the fall. Oh, no, we can't even do it in the fall.
No, we don't have extra fabric in it. So,
well, black Surfside tee will come.
That'll come
at
some point because I have to do that. But Laura, our buyer, because the Surfside tee in white did so well, she was like, wait, is this the turtleneck of the summer? Yeah. we were like, yes, I think it could be.
Could be.
Because it's so good. It's such a good basic. And like our turtlenecks, it just does anything. Like you can really walk in it, or I don't know if you could run in it. You could actually.
You could.
It's an athletic fabric. It's like that fabric that wicks away moisture too.
Right.
And you could wear it with a skirt and you could dress it up.
Yeah.
It does everything.
It does everything.
And that will last.
Yes.
I mean, if you follow the washing instructions, I just want to precursor that waffle is like.
It's so durable.
So durable.
My waffle styles, even from a few years ago, are still like in such good shape.
I know.
It really holds up.
I know. So anyway, more on that to come with our July drops, but the fabric searching really does come from many places, fabric fairs, our factories and all that. And we have these, knock on wood, amazing relationships with our factories. We are a small but mighty customer of theirs,
right?
Because they have many big brands they work with. But thanks to Jess, shout out to Jess, we've developed these awesome relationships with them, and we hope we keep growing as a company because they're growing with us. So, or willing to,
willing
to work with us and grow as we grow.
Yeah.
So once we approve a final sample, then we create POs for the factory that are like BOMs, BOM, which is like each style has a BOM. What is BOM? Oh, what does it stand for?
Oh man, I did know.
It's an acronym and I don't remember what it stands for. Well, sorry.
We need to call in should we call Jess?
I might ask her while we're on the phone. I mean, on the phone. On the podcast. It does feel like we're just having a phone conversation. Anyway, okay, I'm going to ask Jess. So then Jess creates POs, and then it's all basically a package for the factory on what colors to make we pick out every last thing down to the sew-in labels, the hang tags, the zippers, the zipper tape that's on the inside of the zipper.
We have to match the colors for that.
Matching the colors, the pull, the zipper pull, what that looks like. Whether
do we want gold? Do we want it dyed
snaps.
to match snaps or whatever. Yeah.
And then, bill of materials.
Oh, there you go.
I would have never done that. I would have never thought of that. And then we basically pick anything you see on a Dudley Stevens has been chosen and picked by us.
Even like where the pineapple's sewn. Did you say that
already?
Yes.
No, I didn't say that. Good point. And that's all on the BOM. Like that, all of that instruction for the factory is there. So
there's probably some things that we don't even know listed on the BOM.
For sure. Which is good. Like we don't need to know every detail, but we want to know a lot of it.
Yeah.
And then from there, they have the quantities they're making. Then they order fabric. And the making of the fabric is what takes the longest, I think, in this whole production process. And that's made at the fabric mill. And it can take a while. And there's delays with that. And that's a lengthy part of the process.
Yeah, totally.
And sometimes the fabric gets delivered and it doesn't pass inspection. And it gets
that's
declined. And that's a real bummer because it's not like new fabric can arrive the next day.
Or there's like some of it that doesn't pass the inspection, but some does. So they short ship us. I just put that in quotes for those not watching.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we'll have like half the inventory that we wanted to have initially, which is a bummer.
Which is a real bummer, but it happens.
Does happen.
So, and then from there, the fabric's made and then it goes into production, meaning all of the labor and all that that's involved with the cutting and sewing and producing the garment and literally putting it on a pallet and shipping it to the port in New Jersey.
Then it goes to our warehouse in New Jersey.
Yep.
And then they have to sort it.
Yep. and put it all away.
Put it all away.
And then we launched it on the site.
Yep.
And then also interestingly, which people ask as well, about photo shoots and how that works. The minute we approve a sample and we put a PO in, their sample, like, I don't know if they call it this at our factories, but it's a sample room. It's basically a separate room that makes samples. We request those early for our photo shoots. Yes. So that's a whole other process that's like kind of parallel to the full production run of the bulk delivery.
Yeah.
We get one-off samples in every SKU. So every color, not every SKU, but size smalls, you know, for the photo shoots, for the models to wear.
And sometimes you get those samples, so you get to wear them early. I
steal them once they've been shot for the website. I get to take them.
The benefits of being the foot model.
The fit model that I get to take. I get to reap the benefits of that when all the samples come in, and it feels like Christmas morning because it's all new stuff and we're excited. And then, so then while everything's being made in bulk, we have photo shoots and get it all up on the site.
All the marketing happens.
All the marketing, all the pre-marketing, pre-prep of all that.
Which is where Kelly comes in and like helps fill out our marketing calendar, when we need to do the photo shoots, when we need the photos by.
Yep.
How we use the photos.
Yes.
Budget. Behind that.
All the budgeting for that.
That's a whole other podcast. I think we could probably get into.
That is. And also too, like, as we're talking, like, another interesting part about retail is that some companies do a lot more wholesale than we do. And because of that, they need samples way far in advance than we do. So our process is like pretty streamlined at the tail end. Like we get samples, we shoot them, they're delivered. Like it's kind of it is all close together time wise.
Yeah, right.
But some companies like that do, that's why wholesale has never really worked for us. I mean, it just, we never have everything in time. You have to be so far out in advance.
We have to like revamp our whole,
it would be a lot. System. It just like doesn't work. And we also, our pricing is good. Like we don't want to charge more for the whole, you know, you kind of have to charge more to do all of that. And some brands it works, but for us, we've just always inherently been direct to consumer, like our site. And I don't know. So if you're thinking of launching a company, think about that.
Yeah, that's true.
If you want to be wholesale, if you want to do wholesale,
you need a
price
longer
higher
timeline and price higher. Yeah, exactly.
And a longer timeline. So I don't know. It's just funny how 10 years ago we set out and developed.
I mean, our timeline has gotten longer from when we started.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, when we started, we were even a scrappier team. We didn't do all the tech packs. We didn't have as many rounds to fit. Well, we did have quite a few rounds of fittings. But our factory also did our fulfillment. So it'd literally go from the sewing machine into a package sent out to customers.
It was like, we couldn't keep up with the demand.
Right.
They would just have a run of turtlenecks and ship them out. Yeah. Those were the days. It was stressful.
It was.
Not keeping up with demand is wonderful and also really hard and stressful. And and you're just constantly like, how do we get more? How do we do it? Like, you know, so it's a fine balance now for us of selling through, keeping up with the demand right now and understanding what the demand is too. I think that's also really important with buying and inventory and like what we do with Laura. Like, what are the trends we're seeing? Where do we meet our customer? What does she want?
Yeah.
And let's not
she does everything down to the colors and the sizes.
God,
like she's so, very involved with the analytics.
We have so much data, like 10 years of data now of what sells and what doesn't. And we'll never be able to figure it out, but at least we have the information to try to make the decisions for it. So
I mean, it changes year to year too.
It does. Yeah. Right.
So
it really does. But typically we are very lucky because if we love something, we know we don't know, but we think it'll work.
Because
we're our own
customer. True. We're our own customer.
Our own target.
And especially like the other girls that work with us too.
Yeah. They know too. And they're like, and customer, like Whitney and customer service and experience, like she knows what people want too. So it's good to be small. It's good to be a small team.
Yeah.
And share all the knowledge. Well, this was fun. I hope we talked about all the areas of design and all of that. I think we did.
I guess one question, how do we get ideas? Like, how do you come up with the concepts for each season?
That's a really good question. And it really depends on what's going on with us personally and with the business. So like Q4 was all 10-year. you know,
like we had like a lot of capsules.
Yep. Capsules.
Obviously the collabs, and then we have
Dudley favorites.
Our Dudley favorites.
Yeah.
And
that was all kind of designed for us.
Right.
Like we did have inspiration, but like it was very much there, you know?
Yeah, good point.
But Q1 then for 2026, which I am like obsessed with this collection of where it's headed. I mean, as anyone knows, I like love all of our stuff, obviously, because we designed it. So I'm a little biased, but the Q1 for 2026 stuff is, it's just coming together really nicely. And I love how it looks on paper so far. It's very cohesive. There's different collections that, kind of came together really well. And we're doing new things that we've never done before, like new different prints, place stripes, embroidery. And we're like jazzing up our things a little bit, like with some really feminine touches. So, I don't know. I feel like it's another evolution of Dudley Stevens for Q1 2026.
Exciting.
Anyway, and then Q4 is all about celebrating 10 years. So I think it just really depends on like what's going on then, what the capabilities are of our production process, and also where we draw inspiration from as a team. Like we're constantly sending each other things that we love, that we see, and how do we twist on it and make it a Dudley.
I think also Mom too is also very good at looking at like very high end designers.
Yes.
And seeing the trends there and being like, we can make this for half of the cost or even less than that.
Yes.
A third of the cost.
Yeah. Like how do we make this?
Yeah.
Like a designer luxury type style, but like do it our own way.
The inspiration from a designer, make it Dudleyfy it.
Yeah. Our Bonnie blazer was like inspired by some high end luxury brand that we made. We just wanted to make an oversized, cool blazer. And actually we call it the Bonnie jacket because it turned out to be more of like it's an outerwear piece.
Right.
But yeah, things like that, you know, we just wanted a boxy, oversized blazer, and that's coming back out Q4.
Yeah.
Dudley favorite.
It's one of our Dudley favorites.
So it's kind of just using all those things. And then, but I think that like creating little drops and collections within the quarter is what also is helpful, you know? So, and knowing what we're doing that time of year, like Q1, it's like cold weather, skiing, layers, velo fleece.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Velo fleece.
Anyway.
Cool. Well, this is all very interesting.
Yes. It's
behind
fun. Behind the scenes stuff that goes on that is our day in and day out that we don't share on Instagram.
No.
We would, but it's hard. I can't keep up with the sharing on Instagram. I don't know.
It's hard. I was just thinking of like doing a behind the scenes video of one of our fittings, which we could do.
Yeah. Or maybe when we share with the team, like when we get the final samples in, that we're going to have those meetings.
We talked about doing that.
Yeah, we should maybe do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe we could do like an Instagram live.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, more to come on that. I love when we think of ideas like this.
I know.
This is what it sounds like every day when we talk on the phone.
It is.
Anyway, well, thank you so much. We'll be back from our new digs, or maybe from our office.
/office.
Yeah. In our next episode. So thank you guys so much for listening in and liking and subscribing.
Like and subscribe.
Yes, perfect. All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.